If I made a video addressing every time anyone said anything bad about me, I would be posting all day long, every single day, as would every other content creator. That's what the whole For You page would be filled with. But I think we can all agree that this has gotten a little bit big and a little bit much. So now here I am. And I'm never doing this again. I don't address stuff like this, but it has gotten very big. And the reason why I've taken so long to reply is not because I have a PR team and this and that and whatnot. I'm by myself. There's no one, there's no script, there's nothing. I'm just talking to the camera. The reason why I've taken so long is because this all took me by surprise, and it was a very big shock to me because somebody that I thought was my friend and that I was close with really hurt me. And 2 months ago, she was asking me to go to Fiji with her on a girls' trip. And last year, when my dad was apparently homeless and that was going everywhere crazy on TikTok, she was the one helping me through it, sending me voice messages telling me, don't listen to the people online, they're dumb, everyone is stupid, tell Papa it's going to be okay, I hope Papa's okay, don't tell him not to listen. She was helping me. So now this has all come as a very, very big shock and surprise because I thought we were friends. But I'm going to address the things regarding me. So the first thing I want to address is that apparently in 2021, a fan came up to me and we hugged. And after she walked away, I said, oh my God, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for. But you guys know me, surely. That is not what I stand for. Sweaty, however, I may have called her sweaty because when somebody is wet and they touch you and then they leave, and when you're with your best friend and you are now wet because of them, you may say, I am now wet. Again, this was 4 years ago, but that may have happened. And I also know that people would have hugged me, walked away and said, Anna Paul was sweaty. That does not make them a bad person. That is just them pointing out that after 2 people touch, they are now sweaty or wet. For example, actually, during meet and greets, I hug thousands of people. And my go-to thing when I meet a fan is I always go in for a hug. So I hug thousands of people, so my shoulders go into thousands of armpits. And afterwards, my shoulders smell like sweat. And if I'm like, hey, does anyone have a wet wipe? Both my shoulders really smell like sweat. That is just a human thing. And of course, you can twist it and make it sound bad in a video, but yeah. The second one is that I lie about growing up broke. Now, I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt. When I can hear my parents talking in the kitchen that the budget for the groceries that week is $30, it makes me feel broke. When we can't afford school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, and all my friends can afford something and my parents can't, it makes me feel broke. When they say, oh, I don't know how we're going to afford rent next week, that makes me scared and makes me feel broke. That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke during those times. And of course, because the internet is going crazy, they are pulling up photos of, this was Anna's childhood home, showing photos that I grew up in when I was already an adult.